Have you ever stopped to reflect on the impact that happens when you simply stop chasing a woman? Many men believe that being persistent and constantly showing dedication are the main ways to win someone over. However, the reality is that scarcity is what truly creates value. When you don't act desperately for attention, when you are fully aware of your worth and put your priorities first, the woman ends up thinking about three essential things about you. Today, let's explore what goes on in her mind when you become a man who doesn't chase after her. Stay with me until the end to understand how to apply this mindset and transform your relationships. First, she thinks, he must have something very valuable to not be giving himself to me. In our society and in nature itself, everything that is rare tends to be more desired. If you are always available, constantly sending messages and insisting on meetings, you end up devaluing yourself in her eyes. This is something instinctive. Humans naturally gravitate towards what is hard to attain. Now, if you become a man who focuses on his own goals and doesn't place a woman at the center of his life, she starts wondering, what is so special about this guy that he seems so confident? This is the secret to creating true attraction. The secret lies in having such an interesting life that she feels she needs to make an effort to be part of it. The ancient Stoic philosophers taught us that a man should be centered in himself. As Epictetus said, true freedom lies in the ability to control one's own emotions. If you get upset because you don't receive a message or because you're not with her, it's a clear sign that you need to strengthen your emotions and prioritize what truly matters. True freedom comes from not depending emotionally on anyone for happiness. When you become emotionally independent, your life changes radically, and the respect you attract becomes genuine. Next, she thinks, this guy is different from the others. He's not desperate. Let's think about the professional world for a moment. Imagine a successful entrepreneur. He is always immersed in his business, seeking growth and innovation. He doesn't have time to beg for attention. What happens then? He becomes increasingly respected and desired. The same logic applies to personal relationships. Women, just like everyone else, are attracted to those who have a purpose in life. When you have your own priorities and ambitions, you become a rare figure and, consequently, more attractive. She will start to notice that you are a man with added value, and she will need to make an effort to be by your side. However, most men panic when a woman starts to distance herself. They increase the pressure, try to prove their worth, and ironically, push her away even more. But when you act with calmness, without rushing and without falling into emotional games, you begin to create a powerful psychological effect. Doubt. She asks herself, why isn't he doing what the others do? And this makes her reassess her own perceptions about you. What once seemed predictable now becomes a puzzle for her, and this sparks more interest. Lastly, she thinks, I need to win him over. Marcus Aurelius once said, if you are disturbed by something external, the pain is not coming from the thing itself, but from how you interpret it. If you allow yourself to be guided by a woman's actions and let them control your emotions, you are giving your power to her. Stay firm and unwavering. Focus on what matters most to you, and watch how the dynamics of the relationship begin to change. You can't let her define your worth. This is a sign that you need to continue dedicating yourself to your own goals and keeping control over your emotional life. Think of a card game, like poker. If you show your cards too soon, you lose your advantage. Stay calm, play intelligently, and be strategic. The same applies to relationships. Those who remain balanced and in control of the situation, without exposing themselves too much, will always have the upper hand. This doesn't mean being indifferent or cold, but knowing where to place your energy and how to maintain mystery. When you act with intelligence and confidence, women start to see you as a challenge, and they are attracted to that. Now imagine that you become a real challenge, and challenges are irresistible. Being a stoic man doesn't mean being insensitive, but rather having the ability to control your own emotions and actions. When you become hard to reach, without being arrogant, you become someone to be conquered. Women don't want a man who offers himself on a platter. They want someone they need to win over, someone who challenges them to show their worth. As Cicero once taught, the man who masters himself masters the world. When you live your own life, focused on your goals, without needing validation from anyone, you naturally become more attractive. She will realize she has to make an effort to gain your attention, and this changes the dynamic of the relationship. It's not about being unreachable, but about being emotionally strong and independent. The game of attraction is played differently when you're no longer chasing after. Think of the great leaders and personalities who influence the world. They don't beg for acceptance. They inspire respect. Imagine a warrior who doesn't chase after battles, but when necessary, acts with precision and strategy. This is the type of man who leaves his mark on the world, and who people, including women, want to be around. He doesn't need to beg to be accepted or valued. He inspires respect through his actions and character. He knows that being desired is not something he should actively seek, but something that will naturally happen due to his focus, his life, and his value. Be a man of value, with a life of your own, full of goals and achievements. This will make her see you in an entirely new way. When you set clear boundaries and priorities, you take control of your own narrative. You place yourself in a position of power in relationships. This power doesn't come from the need to please, but from the confidence of being yourself, being unwavering in your purposes. Women, like anyone else, are attracted to those who have a meaningful life, to those who have something to offer beyond themselves. It's not about being immune to affection, but knowing that someone's love must be earned, not begged. Conclusion. Now that you understand what really happens in a woman's mind when you stop chasing after her, the decision is in your hands. Will you continue seeking her approval or become a man of value, someone with his own path, clear goals, and who naturally attracts people through his authenticity? Remember, true power lies not in conquering someone, but in being someone worthy of being conquered. Women come and go, but your evolution as a man must be constant. This evolution is what ensures that you remain attractive and relevant, not just to women, but to the world around you. If you want to keep evolving and becoming a stronger man, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications to show you made it to the end and are committed to your transformation, like this video. See you next time.